Volkswagen T6 special editions in our special coverage from the IAA commercial vehicles in Hanover. That is today on Autogefühl with Thomas. We will, for example, here have the T6 PanAmericana, but also something to transport money and also a kind of rolling fridge T6, so a lot of special variants to come here. We will start with the T6 PanAmericana because this one is a special crossover off-road version and is one of the most expensive T6 you can get. 72,000 euros would be the price, including VAT in Germany. And we can already see it here in the front, based on the highest trim level with the new T6 face, with those special headlights and a stronger lower part with contrasts on the lowest part to signalize this off-road look already. And of course, we'll have a normal number plate once you have it. And even more important and interesting is the side profile. And one more detail to the front, if you wonder what that is, this is the sensor for the ACC, the adaptive cruise control. So the PanAmericana features some visual stuff, for example the map logo right here. Not sure how long it will hold, but at least at the moment it looks quite fancy. This one will hold longer definitely. Here the lower part, which has the contrasting color to the exterior, and 18-inch rims in a two-color scheme. And maybe you can already see it from the outside. We are 20 millimeters higher than a normal Volkswagen T6, and combined with the all-wheel drive, this one also ensures, for example, going to the beach with your leisure equipment and also maybe get in and out of the sand, going close to the shore, stuff like this. So this has been a recent trend. We've also seen, for example, other manufacturers with some concept cars featuring van plus off-road features, so maybe that's a thing for the future. Definitely very interesting as for the concept. And here we also got a nice PanAmericana fixed logo right there, and everything else in the side profile. Most important thing about the Volkswagen Transporter here in the passenger version is of course always the sliding door like this, which has a very good quality putting it in and out. And you can see even here like this. This is not the electric door, so it's not the fully electric one, but it's very interesting that even though you don't have the fully electric door, the sliding door has a very good quality, and there are three versions available: manual, then fully electric, or this one here is the half electric. So I could open it manually, but then if I do it like this, it closed, you know, for this stage here, and then I have to put like this. So this would be a compromise between the fully electric and the manual one, and of course also in the middle region then as for the price. In the rear you also have this off-road styling, and here we have an electric hatch. This one is fully electric then. Of course it's also available as a manual version, and then for example this hanger here will help you, if you're not that tall, to close the huge rear hatch, and you can very well stand beneath it. I'm 1.86 m or 6'1", and you see there's even more space above, and you can also put a chair right here and use it when it's raining, for example. Very good feature then. And there's a special seating setup also with a checkered metal ground. Then you don't have too much luggage space left, but of course you can very, very well adjust it everywhere. For example, you can already see it right here. Then, depending on with how many passengers you are traveling, then you can put the luggage area wider, for example. The same flexibility accounts here for the other seats. You can slide them quite easily here, and you don't need too much power for them. The PanAmericana usually comes also with seats with Alcantara on the inside. This one here is the optionally available animal skin equipment we do not recommend. And what else can you do with the seats? Also very interesting, not only sliding it in the front, there's also a switch, and then you can turn them around. And you know, some people really prefer to drive like this in this direction and maybe get sick when they're driving in the opposite direction. But of course, I mean, it's also allowed to drive the other way around. And of course, this could be, oh, you have to be careful not to squeeze your fingers. Then on the other part here, this would be a good setup, for example, you know, when you're on a camping trip and then you're facing each other and when we can talk and so on. And every seat has a storage space here, and this one, for example, there's this compressor mounted for the tire repair kit. The other ones are empty, you can place anything you like in there. And look at the interior, and this is really high class. I mean, look at this matte aluminum finish right here. Looks very, very nice. We don't have the highest infotainment built here, there's no GPS, but there's also already this app connect where we can mirror your smartphone and then you can have the GPS from your smartphone, for example. And the T6 is also about a lot of storage spaces, for example, the top of the dashboard, then right here, another kind of glove box and normal glove box in the lower part, and here more storage, and even there for beverage holders. So a lot of possibilities. And in this case, you can get different engines for the PanAmericana as well. This one here is mounted with a DSG dual clutch transmission together with the TDI. So let's imagine the PanAmericana is too expensive for you and you want to go even more off-road. Then this would be the solution for you. This is the special edition called Rockton. This one here sits 30 millimeters higher, but is less expensive, already about 42,000, so way less expensive than the PanAmericana model. Let's dig into the details here, and you can already see in the front it's kept more simple, more just plain black plastic. Also here, not every chrome lip, so there's a difference to this Highline model or the PanAmericana special edition. But I mean, you can easily also live with that, especially if you want to use it more in a rough terrain. The Rockton features simple 16-inch steel rims, also just to be simple, less expensive and durable. And soon, there you can see there's a mirror mount here. We will also take a look at the underfloor compartment. This is really the most interesting piece about this vehicle. And we also have a Rockton logo, a wrap here on the outside. And the underfloor, this is completely covered to protect against damage, and it's a really interesting view to see how that looks like. You see this massive metal cover that will protect the vehicle against rocks and other stuff. And thanks to the mirror on the ground, we can also see the full replacement tire mounted beneath the car. Very interesting. Then the classic hatch for the Rockton Transporter. There it is. And I can again stand beneath it. And this one here is a very durable setup also for the ground floor to put the luggage in here. And for example, also a lot of motocross fellas bought this vehicle then without the special cover right here, just to put the motocross bikes and then also to be able to go on the on the close proximity to the parking ground of the racetracks, the motocross racetracks. This one here, the equipment, as we can see right here, could, for example, be suitable for a police squad, maybe for border control. That's, for example, a lot of border controls have bought this special variant and put some stuff in the rear and still passengers in the middle compartment and have a durable off-road vehicle. To save some cost, there's also only one sliding door, which is totally sufficient. And what is interesting, that you got also a very durable setup for the seating areas here. So this one already looks like, like a helicopter, and very stiff, very durable material here on the seats. And then you can also imagine that maybe the police squads would like to use it. Well, this one here seems to be not fixed at the moment. Let me get on the middle seat. Almost feels like, start the rocket, Commander. That's how it feels like. Still, enough room above my head, 1.86 m or 6'1", just to remember that. And of course, this is totally flexible. You can get it with or without the seats. Most important with this vehicle is really that it's kept pretty simple, but still very off-road capable with the 4Motion all-wheel drive. This vehicle rather features a basic trim, but I really enjoy showing you that always when you have the possibility to. There you can see why this vehicle is also so much less expensive than the PanAmericana. Simple steering wheel, you know, with just plain plastic, but still very well adjustable in every 4 directions, so you can still have a good steering position. Also with a manual drive right here. The infotainment system is not that huge, but you have the basic functions, for example, also Bluetooth connection to stream your music, or DAB radio. Climate unit is right here, kept rather simple, but seat heating is also optionally available. And for the temperature control in the lower part, and a lot of storage space again right here. And here there's some storage space. And oh, to fold in. And here, for example, without the cover, you know, in the high-class version, there's a cover here. Here is just an open space. But I mean, it's totally sufficient. There you can also save money when you go for basic trim. So we have really the big contrast between the entry-level versions on the interior and the higher versions. Special about this vehicle is also that we have the electric roof. I think the ignition is not turned on. There's no key, so I cannot open it right now, but it could be opened for this small spot to get some fresh air in. At motor shows, it's always really hot. All of the spotlights and so, and a lot of people, and not so good climatization. But inside this vehicle, it's totally different, because you can already see it here on the top. This is a separate independent climate unit, and it uses the fridge here, keeping up for 24 hours. Everything still cold inside. And this is done by 2 lithium-ion batteries, and they can be recharged. I will soon show you that. And if you maybe have not the possibility, in the emergency case, also then when the car is just running, the engine is running, it can be recharged then. But overall, if you load it independently, you can also have the engine turned off and it still remains freezing cold inside. And you have different climate zones. For example, here at the side part, you can already see how thick the layers are. And this one would be the first climate zone. For example, here it says now 22 degrees. That could be, you know, for goods that just have to remain at a standard level of temperature. At the rear you can even better see how thick and isolated the doors are. And then in the rear part, this would be here now, just as an example, 2 degrees for really cold stuff. In the top part you can see where the cold air is coming from, and of course there will be some water maybe, and therefore we got this special floor cover that the top part remains rather dry and some water can maybe rinse down. Of course you lose some space, but I mean, you want to maybe transport some fresh stuff directly to your customers. So maybe your driver is just allowed to drive 8 hours a day, or maybe with 2 drivers, but there will be enough time maybe at night to recharge the climate unit, and then it also doesn't need any engine power. So this is a good possibility and also eco-friendly. And now for the real precious stuff right here. I will open the gate. And this is still cold because it has been turned on earlier. This would be, for example, for minus 30 degrees Celsius, so for the real cold stuff. Maybe directly to customers or the customers' customers. And you can see this is then the final stage of this 3-zone concept. And the interior, first of all, a durable cloth material was especially designed. For example, you have some keys on, you know, on the trousers, and then get some scratches here. And this one is really resistant to anything that comes, even hard scratches, so nothing will happen. Also here some arm rests on both sides, and everything else. Rather standard setup for this car, because this is here also to cut the cost, not so much high equipment. We already have the steering wheel, the more complex one, also with the adaptive cruise control, manual transmission, and whoa, here the infotainment screen, the biggest that is available. So this one would be the optional equipment, and for example also with the app connect is included in here, that you can mirror your smartphone while you're driving or delivering the frozen goods. And this one here from the third-party supplier, this one is a special unit where you can then for each zone control the temperature, so depending on which temperature you need for your special goods. And our last special T6 for the day is the money transporter for all your very precious stuff. Of course, massive from the outside, and all the glass and everything else is all bulletproof. You can also see it when we have a close-up quite soon. So even if you approach this one with heavy gunfire, this will still hold. And it's also not possible just to open the door from the outside, of course. There's no reaction, and usually just the driver inside can do that. And there's a special command terminal in the front, and then I can press the button for the side door. Then the side door here is in green for 10 seconds, and then I can open it. And you've also seen impressive feature that also the foot packs here, they come out, and then I can have an easy access to all of my money. And here in the rear of the car there's one additional seat, maybe for a guardman or something like that. Also with beverage holders or maybe some hangers for the jacket. Of course, driver and co-driver normal seat. And the real important part is then back there. It's also with an approaching light where you can put all the boxes full of money and gold. And this is a special command terminal, and if I press the button to release the rear door, I have 10 seconds time and really have to run around the vehicle. I would say, let's go! There it is, I made it. And this would be the second release here, yeah, like this. And those here, they couldn't be put up once, to have an easier access. But if you put something on there, you can also put them right low or in the horizontal level, that you can put all the cases on there. And for example, also our Autogefühl suitcase might be fitting in here to protect our rest of the camera equipment. So that's it, our special IAA commercial vehicles inside on the Volkswagen T6 transporter variants or also passenger variants. And this one here, the multivan, we have reviewed that one here in the full driving review on Autogefühl. You can check out that video as well. It will be linked in the video description. And there we have, thank you, there we have an exterior, interior, and of course then the driving perspective of this vehicle. Here also again in a special 2-color paint. My favorite one is the, my personal favorite one would be, I think, this setup here. But also very interesting is the color in white red, a retro style, and that one we also had in the driving review. So also join us there, and of course, awaiting your feedback on what's your special version of the T6 or the Bulli, or the Bus, as we say in Germany. Thank you very much for tuning in Autogefühl, and check out our next episodes.